Hey, what's going on everybody? It is me, your favorite bald boy here, and today I got 5 isekai mangas that are a must read. Now these are not the most popular or anything like that, these are just 5 that I am currently reading that I think are very interesting and that you guys might like. And these are in no particular order, and I will leave all the names of these mangas down below in the description. So to start it off, we're going to be talking about, I'm going to try to pronounce this, Meccha Shoukan Sareta Kin. Probably not how it's done, aka summoned to a parallel fantasy world many times. Now this one was actually a pleasant surprise. I thought it was going to be like one of those ones where like the main character is just overpowered, where he does like everything for everybody and he's just a goody two shoes, and oh boy was I wrong. Just like the title says, this main character got isekai'd and then he kept getting summoned to different worlds, and every time he did he got stronger and stronger. So in the newest world that he's in, he is very overpowered, but nobody else knows this because I believe he is like a vampire, and in the daytime his physical abilities are very weak. He's still extremely powerful, just not physically. So everybody in the world thinks that he's just a weakling and has nothing going for him, but at night this man turns extremely powerful and pretty much does whatever he wants. I'm trying not to spoil too much because currently I believe there's only 13 chapters translated, but trust me, it's really good. The main character isn't a goody two shoes or anything like that. There is a lot of gore that happens, a lot of people, you know, get really messed up, and our main character handles it very well. So definitely check it out if you want to see somebody that like hides their power and is really dark and doesn't really give a shit. This is your main character. The next one we're going to be talking about is kind of going to be very opposite of that, but still really good. It's going to be called The New Gate. Now I actually read the light novel first before I read the manga, and they're very similar. This one actually has a lot of chapters translated. I believe there's like 70, 71 or something like that. And in The New Gate, this is after the isekai. So our main character got isekai'd along with like thousands of other people into this game, The New Gate. And when they got thrown into this death game, they had to beat the final boss, and once they did that, everybody could be freed and go home. Well, that's not exactly what happened. Everybody did go home besides our main character and a couple other people. So the manga starts with our main character waking up 500 years after they beat the boss. So 500 years into the future, that's when he wakes up, and that's when he discovers that, oh shit, I'm still in a game, and he sets off on a journey to figure out what exactly happened. And in this game, the people that got isekai'd were basically looked at like gods because they were so powerful, so he has to hide who he was and his past. So he comes up with a lot of aliases and handicaps himself a lot of the time. He's still a badass and fights a lot, but he tries to hide it when he needs to. And there is some romance in here. It's kind of very slow and doesn't really progress that much. In the light novel, I feel like it was much more fleshed out, but in the manga, it's good, but it's not exactly there. And it's not really a spoiler. The main romance is a MILF elf waifu. Huge fan. And the only complaint that I really have is the main character is kind of a goody and doesn't really ever do anything dark or wrong like that. Every now and then the manga will try to make him look like he can be, you know, dark and stuff, and it's just, I don't know, sometimes I just feel like he's a little too perfect. But other than that, if you want to see an overpowered main character travel the world with his friends and this awesome fantasy world, I feel like they did a really good job of world building. This is the manga for you. Next up, we got Yakuza Reincarnation. Have you ever wanted to read a manga about a Yakuza boss that got betrayed and killed by his comrades and then ended up getting reincarnated into a princess's body and then turns into a badass? This is the manga for you. Just like I said, our main character dies, he gets betrayed, wakes up in this princess's body, and immediately starts turning everything around. The princess was on the run, she was about to die, and our main character, now in a waifu princess body, immediately takes the Yakuza approach and just starts punching and fighting her way and using her smarts to take down any problem that they see in their way. And of course, once they get isekai'd, they do have these special powers. I'm not going to ruin it too much, but the main character is definitely a huge badass and is definitely willing to beat some ass when need be. So if you want to see a Yakuza boss in another world in a princess's body with a sword going around just beating people up, this is the one for you. Next up is going to be Kage Nojitsurakusha ni... I'm so bad at this. AKA The Eminence in Shadow. Now, when I read the description, I thought this was going to be cringe fest. Let me read you just a little part from the description. Just like how everybody adored heroes in their childhood, a certain young man adored those powers in shadows. Ninjas, rogues, shadowy mentor types, that sort of deal. That's actually in the description. So you would think, oh, it's going to be some guy like cringe fest just pretending to be like this dark lord or something like that. And that's what it is. But the manga knows that's what it is and uses it for comedic effect. Like, our main character knows he's cringy and the manga pokes fun at that all the time. So our main character gets isekai'd into this world and immediately starts becoming overpowered at birth. Like in a lot of isekais, the kid will be like 5 years old and basically behaving like an adult, and I absolutely hate that. It hints at that just a little bit, but it really does skip over it pretty quick, so it's not too big of a deal. It basically just does that to show you that our main character has been practicing with the shadow magic for a very long time, and eventually just kind of is LARPing as this shadowy character guy the entire manga. Like every time he does something, he does it in his like shadow lore, and it's so funny because every time he does something or makes something up, it happens to be true. Like he gets his own little posse of women to join his shadow group, and he kind of makes up this bad guy, and the bad group just happens to exist, and everything he does, he just does to look cool and to be fun. But in actuality, everybody else sees it as, oh, he's this smart guy that knows everything, and that's why he's doing it. He's just going around LARPing in this world as a shadow guy, and it just keeps working for him, and it's pretty funny. The manga knows what it is, and it doesn't take itself too seriously, but it's still a really good storyline. The main character is an absolute badass, but he doesn't want people to know it. Like he just wants to be a mob character, somebody in the background that happens to be really powerful. So he literally wants everybody to think that he's some weakling, to just look over him, that he's not anything special, when in actuality he's the most powerful person probably in this world. So if you want a really good action comedy isekai, check it out. I thought it was going to be a cringe fest, but it's actually really funny. And the last isekai I have for you is going to be my personal favorite. I'm a huge fan of this, Youjo Senki, aka Saga of Tanya the Evil. Now I'm pretty sure maybe a lot of you have heard about this, but definitely give the manga a read. The chapters are very long, a lot of attention to detail. So if you don't know the story behind this, a guy in our world gets isekai'd by God, sent to this world as kind of like a punishment from God, and he's put in a little girl's body at the outbreak of World War I/II. It's like World War I and II combined. And of course they're in Germany, where else would they be? And our main character uses all of his smarts from his previous life to excel in the military. So now he's in the military and is rising the ranks and is getting more and more powerful, and is also getting a lot of comrades, and is using all of his knowledge from the previous world and the previous world's wars in this world, and it helps our main character not only survive but also thrive in the military. There are tons and tons of amazing fight scenes. It can be pretty funny at certain times, a lot of gore. If you like war and you like magic, this is the one for you. And like I said, it's my personal favorite manga/anime, and I've read all the light novels. This one is my definite favorite of all time. That's going to be 5 isekai mangas that I recommend you go out and read right now. I will leave all their names down below in the description. If you guys would like to see a part 2, make sure to hit that like button. If we can get 500 likes, I will definitely do a part 2. If we do not hit that, I will do a different type. So maybe we'll go do like top 5 fantasy mangas or something like that. I've read a lot, and it's kind of sad. So make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and hit the bell notification if you'd like to see updates for future videos. And that is all I got. See you in the next one. Peace.